As plays and films evolve through time and with the development of technologies, classic literature has been frequently used as the basis for brand new art and media. Thérèse Raquin, written by the French master Émile Zola, is a beloved work of literature at the time and still now. Director Park Chan-wook and actor Jung Suk-young turned Zola's novel into a seductive and sensational Korean vampire film. Park Chan-wook added vampires and developed the plot surrounding them in order to maximize the visual impact of video beyond the visual impact of language. He then transformed Taeju and Sang-yeon into his own Thérèse and Laurent. Based on the novel Thérèse of Kang, the two films In Secret and Thirst explore in depth the different hidden meanings employed to effectively depict the plot of superficial love affair as well as the significance of each character's words and deeds. Thérèse, the female protagonist of the novel, was originally developed using a mixed race background, half French and half Algerian. Racial differences provide a social background that supports her inability to live outside of Rockian family, confining her to a narrow and restricted space in the fictional world. Modern viewers have questions about racial issues and the characteristics of Thérèse, who faithfully plays her part in the Rockian family and makes no move to leave. In order to fill this gap with the novel, the film is transformed into a situation where Therese's irresponsible father abandoned the child in the care of his sister, Madame Roquin, and left for Africa. One day after some time, Therese received the news of her father's death and unwanted marriage with Camille. This series of events destroyed the inside of her. Meanwhile, Roran was deeply jealous of Camille, who owns his lover as a wife. The love and anger built up inside the two of them result in the murder of Camille. Though Therese and Moran pull down the Raquin family and secure a future together, they are unable to enjoy themselves because of the guilt. The film realistically shows how two individuals progressively lose their sense of rationality.
If you get married, you'll find yourself with a portable pillow.
Don't flaunt your good fortune, my friend.
Teju, the heroine of the thirst, exists in a completely different region and a different era. Instead of focusing on her race, actress Kim Ok-bin portrays Teju's pale and angular beauty, which fits the role of the vampire. At the start of the film, Sang-hyun, who plays Ronan, explains to the audience how a pious and devoted priest unwillingly become a bloodthirsty vampire and follow his instinctive desires. Gao's mother, who plays Madame Raquin, is a hysterical figure who overprotects her son and is hypersensitive to her daughter-in-law, chills many audience. In particular, in the scene where she speaks to the priest Sang-yeon, "She used to sleep in my room, but now she sleeps in Kang's room," gives goosebumps. Teju is definitely lonely and miserable in Kang's household, but she seems to have accepted herself as a family member to a certain extent, calling Gang's mother her mom. In the films, her suffering is depicted primarily through visual elements, such as her sleepwalking, lifeless face and voice, rather than through dialogue. However, unlike in Secrets, Therese and Roland, it is difficult for Teju and Sang-yeon to use the house for their threats due to the persistent presence of Kang-woo, an obvious patient who does not leave the house under his mother's furious protection. Therefore, their lovemaking place is mainly limited to Catholic hospital where Sang-yeon worked. Therese and Ron are depicted by the original work's creator Jola as a mere human animals who act on instinct. There is a dishonest reason behind Ron's visit, an affair with a friend's wife. Without knowing the truth, Madame Roquin treats Ron as her six son's only friend and even as her second son. Therese treats Ron for a lost resolution and ultimate escape for a hard situation rather than pure love. Thus, she freely crosses the distinction between wife and lover among these fake brothers. In this film, in secret, there is a metaphor for disgusting adultery and gruesome murder between brothers. Yet since there is no God to punish them, there is no restraint on criminal behavior. Surprisingly, Madame Roquin's excessive restraint toward Therese and isolation from the outside world gives her a sense of forgiveness for her unethical behavior. After Camille dies, Madame, desperate for the existence of Therese, who is the only one left in the household, intentionally marries her to Roland, a son-like, in order to keep her. Even after wedding, Therese and Roland still experience hallucinations of Camille drowning in the middle of their bed because of the remorse over their crime and fear of retaliation. Ironically, before they are judged by the law, they are tormented by guilt and therefore they are punished by themselves. In Thirst, the movie with supernatural elements added to Therese Laking, Sang-yeon, a priest who has lived a life of righteousness and sacrifice, died as a result of an experiment in Africa and is reincarnated as a vampire. Owing to his dedication of all his life to religion, he now discovers the existence of lust while getting used to his extraordinary abilities. This is manifested in his friend Kang's young and beautiful wife Taeju. Accordingly, she wishes to leave them as evidenced by the scene in which she runs barefoot through the streets at night while pretending to be sleepwalking. Sang-yeon finds her in the middle of the street, raises her up from behind, and helps her put on shoes. This scene demonstrates his intense attraction to Taeju. His heart trembles at her young age and beauty as well as the blood coursing through her veins. Taeju also relies on Sangyeon, who seems to be able to give her physical relief. Sangyeon's drinking blood initially makes Taeju uncomfortable, but later Taeju uses it to get rid of her husband Kangho. Unlike Theris, Taeju accepts the journey of becoming a vampire where murder and drinking blood are inevitable. Director Park Chan-wook portrays Sangyeon as a character who constantly struggles between being a vampire and a priest. Composed of a character who stands at the extreme of a lifestyle and mindset, his inner turmoil play a role in adding a layer to the film. As a result of the very first murder, the two frequently have hallucination of Kang's surrounding and even during the sexual intercourse. Since all their wishes come true, they realize that their love is not genuine for each other. In the end, like there isn't wrong, they end their lives as immoral beings, burning in the sun with regret and shame for their past crimes.